This coming Wednesday night and Thursday is Tish'a B'Av. It is the most mournful day on the Jewish calendar, a day that commemorates the destruction of the first and second temple, as well as other tragedies throughout Jewish history. It is so mournful, in fact, that historically many people actually participated in semi-mourning rituals in the 3 weeks leading up to Tish'a B'Av, and more deeply in the 9 days beforehand. When Israel was founded in 1948, some decided to let go of part or all of these mourning practices in recognition of the importance of the state of Israel in Jewish life. And this year in particular, people have decided, because the world is already so dark and difficult, that these extra practices of mourning may not be needed and may be inappropriate. Among the changes that are made in all communities leading up to Tish'a B'Av is the recitation of 3 special haftarot on the 3 Shabbatot leading to this day. These are known as the haftarot of admonition. This Shabbat we'll read the 3rd and final of these special haftarot. And the Shabbat is called Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision, following the first words of the special haftarah from the beginning of the prophet Isaiah. Now, when we think about the destruction of the temples, and when we think about the other tragedies that we mark on this day, the First Crusade, the expulsion of the Jews from England and elsewhere, approval of the final solution, the Amiah bombing, and more, we are, of course, aware that these tragedies were caused by other people, that we shouldn't blame the victims. We shouldn't blame our own community. We recognize that we are not to blame for our own misfortune. And so it follows that indeed Tish'a B'Av can be a day in which we recommit ourselves to assuring our physical safety. And yet, our sages approach Tish'a B'Av as an opportunity not for self-defense, but rather self-reflection. Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision, challenges us to look ahead with our own vision in order to foretell the consequences of our actions. One line of the Haftarah begins with the word Echa, linking it to Megillat Echa, the scroll of lamentations that we will be reading on Tish'a B'Av. This verse speaks of the Jews as unfaithful partners with God. Kriyana Emana Leati Mishpat Tzedek Yalin Ba, the faithful city that was filled with justice, where righteousness dwelt. Ve'ata meratzchim, but are now murderers. Jerusalem, this faithful city, represents the Jewish community as a whole. Once, Isaiah says, it was filled with justice. It was populated by the righteous. Now, though, it is filled with murderers. Our sages note that the Hebrew word here for murderers isn't rotzchim, but rather miratzchim. And from this subtle difference, they teach that the people themselves then, and I think now as well, didn't actually intentionally with their own 2 hands kill people. Rather, what happened, they allowed for conditions in society to exist where people necessarily just died. These people, too, who allow such a system to exist, are also murderers. These people, too, cause the destruction of communities, of temples. They are also responsible. On this Shabbat of vision, I hope that we can all spend some time reflecting on Jewish tragedies past as we approach Tish'a B'Av. I also hope that we can imagine what we can be doing to change systemic failures and build a world that is better for everybody. And so I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. I hope that you will all participate in Shabbat services this week, whether in person or on a device. And because of Tish'a B'Av, we'll be having in-person services this coming week on Wednesday evening and Thursday evening, in addition to our normal morning service. Evenings will be at 8:30 p.m., Shacharit at 7:30 a.m. And if it is safe here to do so, I really encourage you to please come to shul and participate in person, in community, as we commemorate Tish'a B'Av. Shabbat Shalom.